Hey, what's going on? Loyola Machida loses to Yoel Romero. And why did he lose? Well, there goes a big old noisy truck. Right when you turn the video on. You know what? Machida is one of those guys. It's like, in a way I've always liked him. In a way I just really can't stand him. It just really depends on... sometimes he's really exciting to watch. He knocks guys out. Other times he just kind of runs away. And for this fight here, they were in a smaller octagon. I don't know if you guys have noticed this, but I've seen this smaller octagon a few times now. I believe instead of 30 foot across, it's 25 foot across, but don't quote me on that. Which might not seem like much, but, you know, picture a 5 foot area per side of the octagon. That's a lot of space. And, it's one thing to be evasive, to use your footwork, which is part of mixed martial arts. But the problem is, there's a difference between good footwork and just flat out running away from somebody. I mean, we saw Carlos Condit and Nick Diaz literally run away. Just literally run away, run across. And there's a big difference between that, between using your footwork and just flat out running away. It just stalls time. It makes the fight way longer than it has to be because they're just trotting around. One guy's trotting around after the other guy. And it becomes a little bit silly. It's starting to become silly. And so, good on the UFC for making the smaller octagon. They've probably been aware of this for a while, but I'm sure it's a big, maybe there's some controversy, or they were, saying, oh, what should we do? But they've made a smaller octagon. I don't know. I don't think it's a temporary thing. I think we'll see it from time to time. But I think it is, by and large, a really good thing. I think they should have, I said this before, they should even have a ring sometimes. Bring back the big ring. Bulldog fights, pride fights, style of, IFL style fighting with the big ring. Maybe use a round cage, use an octagon, mix it up. But basically, Loyola Machida, did this help Yoel Romero in this fight? Probably did, man. It probably really did. And if you don't think that the size of the ring makes a huge difference, let's put it like this. Not to use the Carlos Condit and Nick Diaz, because people get tired of hearing about that, but let's put Carlos Condit in. I don't know, let's do this. Let's put I don't know who would be a good example, who's a really fast individual. Let's put Demetrius Johnson in a cage that's the size of a soccer field. And let's put him in there against, Fabricio Verdum. Demetrius Johnson versus Fabricio Verdum in an octagon the size of a football, like a soccer field. Now, based on, criteria, because apparently ring control doesn't mean anything. That doesn't mean anything. Apparently ring control doesn't mean anything. Okay? You don't think Demetrius Johnson can run in, hit a leg kick, and then just take off? All he's got to do is land just a couple strikes. Fabricio Verdum is going to run around the soccer stadium, never hit him even one time. Well, man, Demetrius Johnson won the fight. He outstruck him. Fabricio Verdum had no answer. He had no answer for Demetrius Johnson. Demetrius Johnson wins the fight. Okay, guys, that's not a fight. We literally could put a 10-year-old in. We could put a 10-year-old in. This is getting really ridiculous. But this just to show how ridiculous that is when these guys get wins for this running away in the cage. It's literally no different. A 10-year-old. I mean, do you think Fabricio Verdum would be able to land a strike on a really fast, like a 12-year-old boy? Get like a super fast 12-year-old. All that 12-year-old's got to do is hit one strike, boom, one little leg kick, running, a little leg kick, take off running. Do you think Fabricio Verdum could catch him? There's no way in heck. And the really large octagon is no different than that. So the smaller octagon, I mean, look, you got to have room to move. You got to have a place to fight and all this. But I think it's a really good move. I think the new octagon is still big. It's still big, but it's definitely improvement, and it's going to eliminate some of that. And I believe that's why they've gone to this and why they're trying it out, is because of. And there was one fight. Clay Guida was just like running around. Remember that? I mean, it was just bizarre. It's like, and I've always been fairly open-minded, especially about Machida. I said, well, look, you're evasive like that, move, but then you can come in and bam, knock a guy out. You're like, wow, look at this. This guy used his speed. He just escaped this guy and then just came in out of nowhere and knocked the guy out. And I mean, same thing with like Carlos Condit. Like if Carlos Condit had been just boom, threw Nick Diaz off his game, which is by not fighting. I mean, Nick Diaz's game is fighting, and you're not going to fight with him. If you're not grappling, you're not punching, you're not kicking, causing any damage, you're not fighting. And so, he landed some kicks. That's another thing with the strikes, and I've talked on that before. Just because someone hits more strikes in MMA doesn't mean that they won the fight. That's not fighting. I could go up in the head and just knock you on the head 50 times. I mean, if you're not causing any damage, like GSP with his his heart rate's not going up. You're not putting any force into your punches. I mean, that's a whole nother topic. But if Carlos Condit could have came in, boom, and knocked Nick Diaz out, you said, man, what a strategy. But that's really why there should be no decision wins. It should be either it should be either KO, TKO, or submission, or a draw. A no contest. It should be ruled a no contest. And then maybe put that in the guy's stats. 15 no contests, 1 KO, 1 submission. You're like, this guy stinks. And if the fight goes no contest, there should be a drastic pay cut. And then anyway, that's some of my thoughts on that about MMA. And do I like the smaller octagon? The answer is yes. I like it very much so. And I will see you guys later.